Hey guys, welcome back to the Montreal Expos franchise, the last episode of Season 3 regular season. We're going over the standings here. We're just going to go over the American League standings to start the episode to see where things stand at the beginning of the final month of September here. And we are in first place by 6.5 games, a pretty comfortable lead we got in the American League East. We should be running away with this division as long as we stay on this trend. We have been doing pretty well. 6-4 in the last 10, but look at those home and away records. Pretty good. 47-25 on the road. Very, very solid. Red Sox are currently in second. The Yankees not far behind them, though. The Twins took control of the AL Central. They stormed all the way back. The White Sox are now 3 games out. So they are struggling mightily, the White Sox. Take a look at their splits. They're not doing bad, but man, all of a sudden they lost their division lead. Same thing with the Angels. They were supposed to be the best team in the American League again, and they've lost their lead completely to the A's, and they're tied in first right now. Whoever doesn't get that's going to get the wild card, and whoever ends up doing better between the Yankees and Red Sox, I'm sure is going to get that second wild card as well. So surprised to see the A's storm all the way back on the stacked Angels roster. Anyway, first game of the episode, we're going up against the Cubs. The Cubs have a lot of our former players like Kevin Kiermaier, G-Man Choi, Vidal Brujan, and Brent Honeywell. Made a couple of trades with them in Season 1 and in the offseason after Season 1. That's Michael Conforto, though, their new signing this year. He goes deep off of us to give the Cubs an early first inning lead, and we're going to have to come back against Jose Quintana. It's 3-0 Cubs in the second. Chris Davis with a base hit up the middle, and we got a little bit of a rally started with 1 out in the second. Good base running by Willy Adames. Next batter is a couple batters later is Brandon Lowe. He is going to ground out weakly to second base, but it's too weak that they can't get the double play or the added home. So a run does score, makes it 3-1. James McCann finally does something good this season. Hits one opposite field off the huge right field wall. Makes this a 3-2 ball game. James McCann, this is his last year with the club. We'll go over that, though, more in depth in the off-season video whenever the actual season is over. But we do need to talk about whose last year is left on the team, and we do have quite a bit of contracts expiring. Not all of them next year, some of them next year, but a lot of them in 2 years. So we may need to make some strategic trades this offseason. Hopefully we can make one more push at another championship, but we'll see. Ryan Braun goes deep into the left field seats, takes that hanging slider into next month with that moonshot. Willy Adames, sac fly in the 6th. Going to cut the lead to 3. Going to cut the deficit for us, to 3. So it's going to be 7-4. And then it's Crush Davis up in the 6th, trying to get something going. He's been hot. He rips one in a left center field gap. That's definitely in the gap. Is going to be high enough. It is. It actually goes about 5 or 6 rows back. In left center, 29 on the season. Bases loaded. Kevin Kiermaier, familiar face there. Kevin Kiermaier strikes out swinging. Familiar face and a familiar scenario. Kevin Kiermaier striking out with runners in scoring position. We don't miss that whatsoever. We'll rather have Ian Happ, who's going to hit damn near 50 home runs for us in back-to-back years. 44 last year. What's he at this year? I forgot off the top of my head, but we will find out later. Don't even worry about that. We'll go over the league standings, the league leaders, and we'll go over the final statistics for everyone in our lineup and pitching rotation. In the 9th, Colin Poche gets a clutch double play to keep this game at 9-7 headed into the 9th, and we got a tying run at the plate, and that tying run is Austin Meadows. He could always come through with a big shot. This one's ripped to right field. At the warning track, though, Conforto makes the catch. So we're down to our last out. Tying run still at the plate, though. After Meadows is the even more dangerous Ian Happ with the power, and he swings at a bad pitch, but Powell muscles it up the middle for a base hit, cuts the deficit to 1. It's now 9-8. Winning run at the plate. It's Hunter Renfroe, big home run guy, but he hits a base hit into left field through the 5-6 hole and into left field. That is going to bring up Willy Adames to try to walk this off. A ball in the gap will tie it. Even a base hit should tie it. But he's going to fly out to left. Routine out there for Ryan Braun. And we lose this one 9-8. Ron Washington, coach of the Cubs. We lose that one 9-8, unfortunately. Next up, Atlanta Braves at Truist Park. The Braves struggling this season as well, which is surprising because their roster is pretty good. Kind of much similar to like it is in real life, but their roster is pretty good in this game, and they're struggling pretty bad. Bases loaded, 2 out. Fulton Nawitz on the mound. I just call him Fulty on the mound. That's Nate Lowe. You haven't seen much of him since he won World Series MVP. It's because he hasn't been doing too great. Jordan Balazovic, though, he's been doing okay. 4.42 ERA. That's good when you're simming in this game for a starting pitcher. You just don't know how the season's going to go. Check out this catch by Greg Jones. Up against the wall, makes a nice play. Had a lot of ground to cover. He is really proven himself to be a young stud on this team. I just don't know if he's going to play on the playoff lineup because Chris Davis has been too good with the bat. And then Austin Meadows has been too good with the bat ever since this fucking series has started. That one's off the chop house. Broke a window out there. That's a moonshot. Next up's Ian Happ, very next batter. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to go deep. That's dead center. That's waterfall. That's near the waterfall. It's in the Braves bullpen for a shot back-to-back. That's 45 for Ian Happ. And you know there's going to be more to come with it as this month goes on. Balazovic pitching good into the 6th, but a blue pit is usually where you can sense the momentum shifting and the luck for the starting pitcher starting to turn. So that's a blue pit. We're still 1 out. I should have took him out, but I didn't. Try to get a double play to get Balazovic through 6 shutout innings. He only had 84 pitches at this point. It wasn't a stupid move, but in hindsight, it was the wrong move because Eddie Rosario hits an absolute bullet in the right field. No doubt, Austin Meadows didn't even move. Just like that, the game's tied at 3. A nice sac fly, though, for Brandon Lowe. Should give us a 4-3 lead. No, he gets thrown out. Ian Happ gets thrown out at home. Jumping ahead, the Braves took a 4-3 lead. We missed that on the footage. It was during the quick sim. But anyway, we can't muscle anything in the 9th off Will Smith, and we get the loss. Second loss this episode. We've been losing a lot during the gameplay. This is the last game of the season, though, against the Toronto Blue Jays. We already have 104 wins, and we've clinched the division, as you guys may have seen there. So we're going for 105, which would just be unreal. Ryan Barucki on the mound for Toronto. That's a first inning base hit. It's a first inning rally for us. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Hunter Renfroe, a couple batters later, is going to ground one up the middle, but a nice play by Bo Bichette is actually going to start a double play. So 1st and 3rd, nobody out, and we end up not scoring. We had this division wrapped up, so we just threw out Trevor Richards, who's 10-1 in 12 starts with a mid-4 ERA. Actually has not been bad. He filled in earlier in the season for Brandon Woodruff when he was out for about 3 months, and he's really not been too bad. But today he was very bad on this game. That's a home run for Teoscar Hernandez. Ian Happ's trying to rob that one. He's too short out there for that high wall. That's Teoscar Hernandez's 37th home run of the season. That's a lot for him. Yasiel Puig, he's going to get involved. Line drive in the gap, and it's just going to be high enough to get over the wall and right in front of those seats. That's 24 for him. Blue Jays got some home run hitters on this team. For the bad record they have, they're really not that bad. Ryan Barucki shut us down for a while. Gets through the 4th here, 7-0 lead for the Blue Jays. This wouldn't get prettier as we would just sim ahead here because there's no point. All the way in the 8th, nothing has happened. It's still 7-0. Austin Meadows is going to ground into a 3-6-3 non-double play, just a 3-6 fielder's choice. But then it's Ian Happ. You can't get shut out this game. And Ian Happ rips one hard up the middle into center. But it's Teoscar Hernandez going to run this one down. We eventually did score a run, but the bats were really quiet this game as Brandon Lowe rips a double into the gap as we're down to our last out, down 6 runs. Rally is not going to happen, but we got to at least try. James McCann, next batter. He goes deep in the left center field. Teoscar Hernandez is going to catch this one because this one is gone over the wall. Just like that, it's 7-3. Got a little bit of hope he's going to finish the season with 22 home runs. Jake Shiner, he's already 2 for 3 this game, having a nice little day. He rips a base hit up the middle, and we may have something cooking. Down 6 to our last out. Now all of a sudden, we've got a little bit of rally going. 2-2 count. Wander Franco, that's through Carlos Santana's glove at first base. And now, wait a minute, we got Two guys on, two out. We are down by 4. It's one of our best hitters, Austin Meadows, up. But the rally's going to end with Austin Meadows. Good pitch on the outside corner, and Meadows flies to center. So we lose all 3 games of this episode, but it's okay. Let's see how everyone ended their season. Wander Franco, 293, 23 bombs. Pretty good. Brandon Lowe, typical season from Brandon Lowe. Only 26 home runs this year. Bit of a down year in home runs for him, but pretty solid season. Meadows, he kind of had a down year. Look at those stats. I mean, they're amazing, but it's a down year from what we're used to. Only 34 home runs, only 94 RBIs, and 304 batting average. I mean, amazing, but probably his worst year so far in this series, but still quite an amazing year. Look at Ian Happ. My goodness, just finished short of 300. Batted 299, 48 home runs, and 125 RBIs. He was our MVP for the season. We love Ian Happ. Better things can't be said. Willie Adames had 27 jacks, 79 RBIs. Suffered a dip in average, but he hit more home runs. Hunter Renfroe, over 30 home runs yet again, 31. Only 69 RBIs, though, and a very abysmal 217 average. I'm about done with Hunter Renfroe. He's one of those guys that might get traded. Greg Jones, very solid rookie campaign, 289, 5 home runs, only 21 RBIs, but he bats down in the lineup, and he didn't play the whole season. Nate Lowe picked it up a little bit. He finished 240. Very bad year from him. I mean, my patience is running low with him as well. Look at Chris Davis. He played most of the season as a starter, but he did jump to the bench against righties to get Greg Jones some playing time. He had 30 home runs. Jake Shiner did okay. Brendan Belt, Daniel Robertson, Estevan Florio was just a 40-man roster guy. None of them played too much, so nothing important. Blake Snell, he's going to start things off in the playoffs for us as our ace again. Great year. Yanni Chirinos had a pretty solid year, like usual. 3.78 is higher than what we're used to, but, I mean, in this game, if you play franchise in this game, a 3.78 ERA is amazing. Same thing with Woodruff, 3.7, pretty solid. Didn't play a full season, but he did pitch very well when he played. We got a tough decision to make of who's going to be our game 4, if necessary, starter in the playoffs. Brandon McKay or Jordan Balazovic. I think Balazovic's been a little more consistent this season. I'm inclined to go with him, but we'll see. Our bullpen was just average. Alex Claudio had a good first season. Colin Poche is very consistent. He's always somewhere in the 3s. Michael Givens had a very good year. Same thing with Andrew Miller. 263, a nice trade deadline acquisition. Didn't give up pretty much anything for him. And then Tyler Glasnow, what an amazing year he had out of the bullpen. His first year as a closer, and he was lights out. It jumped all the way up to an 87 overall somehow. 53 saves, only 2 blown saves. That's unheard of. Nick Anderson, our former closer, used to have at least 8 blown saves guaranteed. He would have 5 by like May, and then he would calm down. But man, Tyler Glasnow, he single-handedly won us a lot of games just by being able to close it out. We clinched the division by 10.5. The Yankees ended up beating out their Red Sox for that wild card spot. So the Yankees are going to the playoffs. And honestly, that scares me because we are the first seed. And if we have to play the Yankees, that is not going to be fun. The White Sox did come back and win their division. So they did pick up a win. The A's actually won the division by a game. It came down to game 162, but they did win the division. So the Angels are going to host the Yankees for that wild card game in the American League. And we'll jump to the National League in just a sec. We're going to check out the wild card. It is the Angels. They beat out the Yankees by a couple games. On paper, though, we're probably going to verse the Yankees. That's my bet, but I wouldn't mind playing the Angels again and eliminating them. NL East, Nationals won only by 3 games to the Miami Marlins. The Marlins doing all right. National League, the Brewers won by a long shot. They were the first seed in the NL, I'm pretty sure. Reds made the wild card, though. And the Dodgers just beat out the Padres in the NL West. So it's going to be Padres-Reds in that wild card. Let's take a look at the league leaders. Batting average, our best hitter was Austin Meadows. He finished 11th. Freddie Freeman led the league. What a signing he was in the offseason for the Angels. 341, my goodness. He had 341, 43 home runs, and 128 RBIs. Ridiculous. JD Martinez, he's going to be at the top of most of these anyway. Cesar Hernandez in doubles. I think he was in doubles last year, if I'm not mistaken. Triples, we actually had Jake Shiner with 8, was tied there for 3rd or 4th place. For 4th place. Good for Jake Shiner. Ian Happ finished 3rd in home runs with 48. He just missed out on 50. JD Martinez had 55, and Gleyber Torres had 53. My goodness. RBIs, Anthony Rendon, 144. Wow. Look at this Angels offense. How did they not win the AL West? But what? And no A's players on this list whatsoever, but whatever. And then here we're jumping ahead to runs. Nothing special for our team there. Stolen bases as well. We don't steal a lot of bases. Don't draw a lot of walks. We're going to jump ahead to slugging percentage. We got Ian Happ sitting at number 7. OPS, we had a couple guys, Ian Happ and then Austin Meadows down there at 12. Wins, Yonny Trinas led the league, tied for 19 with Andrew Heaney, who got traded to the Astros from the Angels. So I bet the Angels wish they had him right about now. Blake Snell right behind with 16. Blake Snell had the third fewest losses with 5. And Tyler Glasnow led the league in saves with 53. J.B. Wendelken for the A's had 50. Big year for him, too. What a year from Glasnow, though. My goodness. I mean, 2.19 ERA, 10-something Ks per nine. I mean, absolutely unreal. Blake Snell had the second lowest ERA in the league. You see Sean Manaea and Daniel Megden were down there, too. I think that's that's leading the A's to that division title was their pitching. The pitching is unreal. Frankie Montas looked low home runs. We had Brandon McKay only give up 17 all season. That's pretty impressive. Strikeouts, our leader was Blake Snell. That's our big guy in our rotation. I really wish Woodruff wouldn't have gotten hurt for most of the season because I feel like we would have seen him up there on a lot of these stats as well. When he's on, he's on. Woodruff, we're going to go batting war. Ian Happ's very up there. We're going to jump ahead to some of the awards. MVP, it's JD Martinez for a third straight year. You look over on the right. JD Martinez has now won the MVP award 3 years in a row. Cy Young goes to Andrew Heaney, who got traded to Houston in the offseason. Blake Snell finished third, though, right behind Garrett Cole. Freddie Freeman won the batting title. We went over that. First-year Angel wins the batting title, Freddie Freeman. We actually ended up not getting lucky by getting first place because all first place got us. Oh, by the way, reliever of the year, Tyler Glasnow. All first place in the American League got us was a chance to verse the 2 other best teams, the Angels and the Yankees on paper. So it really didn't work out for us. We should have just got like the 2nd seed and played the fucking White Sox again because we probably would have beat them. But whatever. If you're going to win the World Series, you got to beat everyone anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Jumping ahead on the awards, Mike Trout wins the Hank Aaron Award again. We're going over some gold gloves. I don't think we got any gold gloves. Let's go over it real quick. DJ for the second. Matt Chapman again. Bo Bichette. Hunter Renfroe's right behind there in left field. Surprisingly, he's not the best fielder in the world. Kyle Schwarber, former Expo, actually won the gold glove. He had a perfect fielding percentage. Pretty impressive. Ian Happ second in center field. And then in right field was Mookie Betts of the Oakland A's. Forgot the A's had him. Silver Slugger. We did have a couple Silver Sluggers, though. JD Martinez, of course. Jake Rogers is the new best hitting catcher in the American League. Gary Sanchez has been dethroned for the best American League hitting catcher, at least this season anyway. Freeman, Altuve, Lowe finished right behind Altuve. It's always Brandon Lowe and Jose Altuve so far in these first 3 seasons. Been back and forth and back and forth. Rendon again for third base. That's 2 years in a row for him. Xander Bogaerts, that's 3 straight years at Silver Slugger for shortstop for him. He had 32 jacks, 270, and 114 RBIs. Pretty impressive stuff. Ian Happ again gets the second one for the outfield. Meadows got it last year. It'll be Happ this year. And then that's it. That'll round out the Silver Sluggers. We only had Ian Happ. Meadows, even though he had a good year, there's just too many American League outfielders that have these incredible seasons, like Jordan Alvarez and Mike Trout and Ian Happ. But yeah, that'll round out this episode. In the next episode, we'll find out who we verse in the ALDS. It'll either be the Yankees or the Angels. I'll probably just give it away in the thumbnail, but you're going to have to wait till that video comes out to find out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you did. Playoff baseball is coming next episode. I'll see you guys there.